Temu, oversaturation, Amazon fees, Amazon haul, and startup costs. Should you be worried to sell on Amazon due to these topics? And is it too late to sell on Amazon in 2025? So a lot of people on the internet will tell you that's the case. But is it true? Yes and no, which is why over the next few minutes, I'll be deciding whether or not you should be selling on Amazon in 2025, despite all these problems you see on the screen, because it's a yes and no answer that 99% of the people get wrong. But by watching this video all the way through the end, you're gonna know what the truth is, because I'm going to rank these topics on a scale from 1 to 10 on whether or not you should be scared to sell on Amazon or not. And I'm also going to share some solutions on how you can overcome these obstacles and ways I managed to create a unique product called Lil Advent. Took my brand new product onto Shark Tank, launched, and sold over $2.3 million selling on Amazon in just 5 years. And my name is Mindy Bai, and before I reveal if it's too late to start selling, I want to tell you that I'm sharing all this knowledge from personal experience, from starting with a failure all the way up to swimming with the sharks. Growing up, I needed to be my own boss and wanted financial freedom. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I spent years flipping stuff on eBay and always had a ton of side gigs. I even had some success selling on Amazon. But out of nowhere, Amazon started copying my products and crushed my business with Amazon Basics, and I could not compete with their cost. I was facing bankruptcy almost overnight. I knew I had to act fast or I was going to lose everything I spent years building. Suddenly, I found myself in a race to create, manufacture, and sell products as quickly as possible. And that's when inspiration struck. And boom, the idea was born. Potty Time Adventures, an all-new product to market that rewards children with hidden wood blocks when they go to the bathroom once, 2 times, and then 3 times. It's encouraging and it works, and no one can copy it. But that's where the real work started. This idea needed to happen very fast. After my last Amazon business was copied by Amazon Basics, I knew I couldn't risk that happening again. So make sure to hit that like button, because I'm here to show you the real truth about selling on Amazon and share some things that a lot of fake gurus would never share with you about selling on Amazon. And if you don't know, FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. When a customer buys your product, Amazon handles the fulfillment for you. They pick, pack, and ship it to the customer for you. This makes it a relatively passive income business, because you're doing almost nothing when Amazon gets almost 1.4 billion page views per month, and they take care of the marketing and fulfillment for you. All you have to do is send your product into their warehouse. Now, you don't have to dive directly right into the Shark Tank. Your success starts with choosing the way you'd like to sell on Amazon. And the truth is, most people sell on Amazon the wrong way. They're using outdated methods that just don't work anymore. These ways of selling on Amazon may have worked in the past, but I'm going to share with you the best way to make money on selling on Amazon in 2025. The first way of selling on Amazon is to find products that are being sold at a discount and reselling them on Amazon for a profit. Like these dumbbells that are being sold on Walmart.com for $79, but it's being sold on Amazon for over $265. You would then buy it on Walmart and sell it on Amazon for the increased price, and you keep the profit. This is called retail arbitrage. But there is a huge downside to retail arbitrage in 2025. And it's that you can't build a true passive income business when you're constantly searching for discounted products. And you just have to keep doing that. And since you're always looking for new opportunities, it's not a long-term strategy for financial freedom. The second way to sell on Amazon is called wholesale. So you can go on sites like Global Sources and buy them wholesale and flip it on Amazon for the retail cost. Like this right here, this laundry drying rack is being sold on Global Sources for $24. And the same drying rack is being sold on Amazon for over $97. So you can buy it, flip it, and keep the profit. The big drawback on buying wholesale is the massive competition, especially in 2025. If it's easy for you to find the products, it's easy for other sellers to find the product too, which can force you to lower your price point and eventually lose your profit. And because of that, it's hard to keep consistent and rely on that income. The third type of product you can sell on Amazon are products like this baby teething toy. This is doing over $1.1 million in sales a month. But here's what's crazy about this product. If you go to Alibaba.com, you can find that this product is being sold for $1.35 each. So you can buy this product in bulk, put your own brand on it, and sell it on Amazon for a huge markup. The main con about private labeling is that the market has become too competitive over time, making it hard for you to find real winning products. Even though private labeling can make you a lot of money, it's incredibly hard to make your product stand out. Unless it's a unique product, your listing will get lost and you won't make any money. But there are two real options to make money in 2025. That is niche branding or creating a passion product. And I'll talk about both of these in more depth throughout this video and how I use these methods to create my potty time adventures. But now let's go over the 5 reasons on why it might be too late to start selling on Amazon in 2025. And I'll rank these on a scale from 1 to 10 on how worried you should be. Let's start with the first issue: oversaturation. There are nearly 10 million Amazon sellers and only about 1 million of those are active in the US. That's a lot of competition. And a lot of these sellers claim to be very successful. You've probably seen a lot of these people on TikTok in their mansions and Lamborghinis saying how they made their millions overnight. But as someone that's been selling on Amazon for about 15 years, this is not some get-rich scheme. It takes a lot of work. And how worried you should be about selling on Amazon in 2025 because of this oversaturation really depends on the method of how you're selling. And if you're selling wholesale on Amazon in 2025, I would call this a 10 out of 10 because of oversaturation. You might get lucky and find a good product, but competition is tough. And private labeling is also incredibly oversaturated, so I would give that a 10 out of 10 as well. But it's not all bad news. Retail arbitrage is probably about a 4 out of 10 due to oversaturation, because I still see people slapping their own label on a generic product and creating their own listing. And they're still making money with it even in 2025. But it's not easy. You're still competing against other sellers that are selling the same product in a different package. So the best solution for you is to create a unique product that you're passionate about and focus on niche branding. For example, my product, Potty Time Adventures, is a unique product that focuses on helping children use the bathroom. And nothing like this existed before I created it. And if you did what I did or focus on a niche product, you can take the threat of oversaturation from a 10 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10. It's not going to be a 0 out of 10 because there is still over 12 million products. You just have to stand out. Potty Time Adventures tries to prevent oversaturation because it is a new product to market that I created. And it resonated with parents like me. In selling this product for just a year on Amazon, I've made almost $200,000. So I decided to take Potty Time Adventures into the tank. We applied in year 1 of selling, and Shark Tank told us that we would be on the next year. So once the show aired in year 2, we saw a massive spike in sales on the day of and the day after. This led to making over $400,000 in sales of selling online in my second year. And even if we didn't get a deal on Shark Tank, we proved the product works. And from there, we got a lot of feedback and then a lot of sales. But after that, it wound up being business as usual. Now, the ability to say I was on Shark Tank just gives me street credit and gives the product massive validity. And when we see a rerun, I see a spike in sales. And the second thing to consider if you're wondering if it's too late to sell on Amazon is Temu. If you were planning to sell on Amazon in 2025, Temu was a huge concern. In 2024, they had over 167 million customers, all able to buy cheap products, meaning they weren't going to Amazon to buy as much. But 3 massive changes between Temu and China have changed. And this has changed how likely it will be for you to succeed on Amazon. If you haven't heard of it, Temu lets customers buy products extremely cheap because the products were all shipped directly from Chinese manufacturers, which lets them avoid tariffs through a loophole called de minimis exemptions, which means for products under $800, people don't pay tariffs. But recently, there are 3 massive changes. The first is that the de minimis loophole is closed. Chinese manufacturers can no longer avoid paying tariffs. The second is that the sellers on Temu now have to specify a 10-digit classification tariff number, tracking and making sure they pay all the taxes and tariffs. And the third is that some US customers might have to start providing their social security number to actually get their items, and who wants to do that? So these changes make Temu way less threatening to sellers in 2025. Unless you're selling cheap, generic products and using the wholesale method or private labeling, Temu would still be an 8 out of 10 concern because they will always be able to charge a lot less than trying to sell the same product on Amazon. And that's thanks to selling straight from the manufacturer. But there is a way to still succeed. Don't sell cheap junk. Instead, this is where two strategies come into play. Temu cannot compete with selling a niche product or a passion product. But let me explain a little more about that. Niche branding is where you find a product that's already selling on Amazon and target a specific audience. For example, Travis noticed that people were buying electrolyte powder, but no one was selling an electrolyte powder specifically for people on the carnivore diet. So he made a sugar-free, additive-free electrolyte powder. And he made over $100,000 in just 6 months because it was specifically targeted. The other option is creating a passion product, something completely unique that you are passionate about. For me, there was no product out there that could help my child use the potty, that offered incentives and celebrated milestones like my product does, Potty Time Adventures. And it resonated with parents because in just 5 years, I've made over $2.3 million. The key to this is realizing that Amazon is a search engine. People type what they want into the search bar. If you can figure out what people are searching for, but it doesn't exist yet, you have struck gold. To help you figure out what people are searching for, there are tools like Helium-10. And Travis actually has the hookup for you and can offer the cheapest price for Helium-10. Just click the link in the description. The third concern with selling on Amazon in 2025 are the startup costs. And I'm going to reveal the standard cost, and then I'll share exactly how much it's cost me to start my Amazon business. So pay attention. If you're doing retail arbitrage, the startup costs are pretty small and the concern is pretty little. But for private label or wholesale sellers, it's much worse. Their concern should be about 6 or 7 out of 10. Most sellers who focus on passion products or niche brands think it's going to cost a lot of money to get started, but that's not always the case. AJ, for example, started his Amazon business with $0 through the Amazon FBA course, The Passion Product Formula. He learned about crowdfunding and used Kickstarter and Indiegogo to pre-sell his products. And he didn't spend a dime because he ended up raising over $100,000. Then used that money to manufacture the cards and launch his business. If you're creating a niche branded product or a passion product and you don't want to use crowdfunding, your startup cost would be a concern of about 3 out of 10. The course has students like Nina who started with as little as $1,500. And now she's doing over $100,000 a month in sales. But for me, I spent over $55,000 to create and manufacture my product, Potty Time Adventures. That was for almost 13,000 units and 3 different SKUs. But that's not all it cost me to get my product from China all the way into Amazon's warehouse. I did have to spend $320 on samples before I started my first production run. This was a lot of money, but I was not messing around. I actually took out a loan to float all these new business expenses. So all in to start your business, it could cost you anywhere from $0 to thousands of dollars. But again, you don't need to have all that money yourself. You might be able to get your manufacturing much cheaper. And crowdfunding makes it possible to start with any upfront investments. But still, you might be wondering if selling on Amazon is the biggest opportunity in 2025. And one of the concerns Amazon sellers talk about over and over again is Amazon charging more fees. Honestly, when I was thinking about starting to sell my products on Amazon, I thought the fees were worth it because Amazon takes care of all the back-end logistics for you and it places your product in front of millions of buyers. And now in 2025, it's definitely something that new entrepreneurs are thinking about. Amazon fees have been increasing over time and there is a lot to consider. First, there's the product cost. For me, in my first year, that was $38,000. Beyond that, Amazon charges a 15% fee to sell on their platform, whether you're using FBA or FBM. And for me, in my first year alone, I ended up spending $28,000. If you're selling a branded or niche product, you can actually lower that 15% fee to as low as 5% by using Amazon's brand referral program. This is a great option if you qualify for it. Another major cost is the Amazon FBA pick and pack fee, which is what you pay Amazon to do all the picking, packing, and shipping of your product. For me, in my first year, this cost me another $48,000. And for me, the FBA fees is well worth it. It saved me time and money, from shipping the product myself. So you can focus on the growth of your business rather than running the operations of your business. Now, how concerned should you be as a new seller on Amazon in 2025? Again, if you're selling private label and you're competing against so many other sellers and you're selling low-cost products, the fees are going to eat into the small amount of profit margins that you have. So I think this could be a big issue, and I would rate it 7 out of 10. That's mainly because if you're selling generic products, you cannot raise the price and keep your customers. They will buy it cheaper from someone else. But if you're selling a premium passion product, the fees are more like a 2 out of 10 concern, because usually these types of products have higher profit margins, and customers buying premium products are less price sensitive. When it comes to retail arbitrage, the fees are a 10 out of 10 concern, because all the fee increases directly affect which products are profitable. But to be fair, if you do put in the time to find great deals and flip them on Amazon, there's always money to be made. It might get a little bit tougher as fees rise, but the opportunity is still there. I wouldn't personally recommend it because I've made over $2.3 million in just under 5 years. And I know you can't do that any other way. But wait, did Amazon just nuke its sellers? Because in November 2024, they quietly dropped a new platform that's basically Temu, but with Prime delivery. It's called Amazon Haul. And for some sellers, this isn't just a curveball, it's a death sentence. It's a low-cost storefront from Amazon that's just like Temu. Cheap products that ship straight from China. But here's the twist. It's backed by Amazon's brand, which means customers actually trust it. So no more jumping over to Temu to find cheaper products. So who should be sweating right now? Well, if you're a wholesale seller, this is gonna be a 10 out of 10 concern. You're selling products that people can buy cheaper and get faster from Haul. If you're a private label seller, this is also a 10 out of 10 concern. Unless your product is airtight and your product is solving a unique problem, Haul will undercut you with pricing without any mercy. Customers don't care about logos if they can save $15 in just one click. Now, if you're selling retail arbitrage, this is a 2 out of 10 risk, because you're sourcing real brands from US stores, and that stuff is not on Haul, because you're selling Nike-like products that people want specifically. And Haul isn't going to be your enemy, it's just noise in another aisle. Now, if you're selling a passion product, this is a 1 out of 10 concern, because Haul cannot touch you either. Your product is yours. No knockoff factory in China is manufacturing it. In fact, you might even get a boost. I saw this with my own product, Potty Time Adventures, after Haul launched. My sales went up. More people are browsing Amazon, hunting for those deals, and guess what? They stumble across me and they buy it. Why? Because there's no cheap version of what I sell. So if you're selling wholesale or slapping a label on a generic product, Amazon Haul might slam your business model. But if you're building a real brand, a unique product that solves a specific problem, Haul actually brings you more customers without taking any away. So overall, when we add up all the numbers about how concerned you should be about starting a company on Amazon in 2025, it's clear if you're doing private label or wholesale, it's not a good opportunity anymore. But if you're doing niche branding or creating a passion product, like I did with Potty Time Adventures, it's a huge opportunity for you to start a business on Amazon in 2025. And if you want to learn about how to start your own Amazon business, join Travis's Amazon FBA course, the passion product formula for over 100 tutorials, 2 one-on-one coaching sessions, and weekly live Q&As. Click the link in the description to sign up for the waitlist now. But if you're not ready to join just yet, Travis does have a completely free 10-hour Amazon FBA course, and you can get it by clicking right here. And if you'd like to check out my Potty Time Adventures, you can find it on Amazon, or I put a link in the description for you as well. So check it out, and I hope you love it. And good luck on your Amazon journey.